Hey everybody, You Are Supreme Toys here, and we finally have our Barnyard Commandos Stealth Ops variants from PremiumDNA Toys. These showed up the other day, and we're going to have a look at these. Now, I ordered the normal versions from Big Bad Toy Store probably 2 years ago, and they're currently sitting in my pile of loot. So, these came in first, so we're going to have a look at these first. All in one go. Now the boxes are all the same for these guys. We have the Barnyard Commandos Stealth Ops logo on the front, the Rams Rebel Army of Militant Sheep on the side, again, and then on the other side, Pork's Platoon of Rebel Killer Swine. So these are slipcase box. So like Super 7, you have a slipcover reveal. Right here we have Private Sido Bacon with his 450 Fahrenheit lamb roast flamethrower. And on the back, we just have the cross-sell of all 4 figures in this set. Now these guys are pretty hefty. If the Mad Balls figures are any indication of quality, I have high hopes for these guys. That being said, the normal versions were solicited back when Megalopolis Toys was still a thing, and PremiumDNA is the offshoot of Megalopolis. It's the same people, and Megalopolis had a big thing that happened that caused them lots of problems and lots of delays and a lot of missing product and orders not getting filled by their customers. But they came through with the Mad Balls regardless, even though it took them quite a while to get them into the hands of collectors. The Barnyard Commandos took a while as well, but as you can see, here they are. These are the Stealth Ops variants. I ordered these probably 5 or 6 months ago. So that's a pretty good turnaround. So these were manufactured at the same time as the normal versions. But that's all the past. I've gotten everything, just about everything that I ordered from Megalopolis at the time, except I'm still waiting on my Trash and Pumpkin guys from my Mad Balls set. I ordered that from Megalopolis. Now, I ordered my Mad Balls from Megalopolis too, and I got those. I have no reason not to expect them to deliver my Trash and Pumpkin. I did message them, asking them if they would be fulfilling that order from Megalopolis Toys, and have not received a response. I think people are getting their Trash and Pumpkins, but that's a whole different topic. Let's have a gander and see what these guys are like. They are taped on the top and the bottom. I do not plan on keeping these packages. They're pretty, but I don't know. There's just, you can't really see the figure inside very clearly. I forgot to mention, this is raised on all of the boxes and sides. This is, I don't know if it glows in the dark. I turned the light off and I didn't see anything, but this is like a textured font. All the font is textured on the box. I don't know if you can kind of see it in the camera. Alright. Got 2 pieces of tape. Let's check out our side of bacon. Now, the Barnyard Commandos was a early 90s toy line. It was pretty popular for the moment it came out, but it didn't get beyond really more than a couple waves, I believe. And a kids meal set. I can't remember if it was McDonald's or Burger King. Alright, and this is just a standard clamshell. And I was very excited when I found out that they were going to be reissuing these, because I was not a fan of the toys when I was a kid. I remember seeing them and I had a few, but these super articulated versions look really nice. Alright, first off, we have this giant hay bale. It's wrapped with barbed wire. This is actually very nicely painted, very nicely textured. Very textured, very nice. Even on the bottom, it's sort of like a more yellowy paint. Like it's been wet, sort of, or dried, I don't know. But the outside is more of a brown wash, but the bottom, you can tell exactly what the bottom is. It's hollow, so this is actually feels like a somewhat soft plastic. This is almost like a vinyl. He comes with 2 sets of visors, one translucent green and a yellow. It's sort of like a metallic yellow, orange, mustard color. Now it's kind of sloppy around the edges, but it is painted on both sides. And then that's it. It's just the giant monster of a figure. This is his giant weapon. This should detach right from the back. There's a peg hole right there and a peg. And this is just like how the vintage toys worked. All their accessories had a giant peg and they would just slot in. And these would have been a soft, squishy rubber. Now this giant, what do they call it? Lamb roaster flamethrower? This is a flamethrower. Okay. This is very nicely detailed. The colors are wonderful. I love this green and metallic. I don't know if you would call that metallic. It's like a, it's sort of like a gunmetal, gunmetal gray maybe. And it's got a bunch of details and everything's painted pretty cleanly. I don't see anything outstandingly sloppy or just completely ignored. I love this little pig nose emblem that they put on. This sort of like a basketball, but I know it's not. And right here, this is where the visor would slot in. Now, I prefer the clear one. This should just, it's pretty tight. Yeah, pretty tight. You might want to heat this up a little bit before doing that. There it is, pretty tight. Before we put that back on, let's check out the articulation here because this is what it's all about. Alright, first off, I can tell that this back leg's a little loose. Now, these were, I believe, intended to be a lot bigger than this. If I recall correctly, they had an update where they said that they had to decrease the scale due to cost. But these are still a handful of chunky figure. Like, they have hip, hinge, and somewhat rotation. I don't like this. I don't like this knee articulation on that back leg. It's kind of wonky. It's very tight hips. There's a hip swivel, it looks like, but I can't really finagle it to do anything. These knees are very loose. But what are you going to be doing with these guys? You're going to be putting the flamethrower attachment on, and you're going to be putting them on a shelf. That's pretty loose. I don't really like that. They have a waist articulation. Very limited, but I don't know. I guess you could do some stuff with it. I was like, wow, super articulated pig action figures and sheep action figures. I've got to get these. Like I said, not a big fan when I was a kid. Gosh, these are tight. You better be careful. Like, I don't trust toys. And that's like a swivel, like a ball joint. Yeah, I think it's like a ball joint in there. I don't know if anything glows on these guys. They give you the impression of glow in the dark, but I can't be sure. I really don't need these breaking. These Stealth Ops variants are allegedly limited to 450 pieces. So they still have them in stock on their PremiumDNA website. And then the head barely moves. But these guys look really good. Like, I don't know if you can see all these little black flecks. This is all the paint fleck from the joints. Yeah, the articulation is a lot to be desired on this guy specifically. But he gets the job done. Pretty standard toy. I believe I paid $45 a piece for these. And let's see, let's just plug this back into the back. Yeah. It should be in there. And the visor goes over the face. This is Private Sido Bacon. Looking pretty oinky. I like him. This is a great shelf piece. Just for scale comparison, here's the Mad Balls figure. It's roughly the same scale. Definitely, they kind of fit well together, I think, like this style figure. I love these chunky monster figures like this. Like, we don't get a lot of chunky toys anymore. Sergeant Wooly Pullover. The sheep. The black sheep of the family. Ha ha. Again, the package is completely the same. Nothing special here. This is one of the standing figures. So we'll go ahead and pop him out too. Huh. He was retaped. I wonder if he's okay. I don't like seeing stuff retaped. Alright. More tape on the clamshells. Now, he comes with a lot of accessories. Lots of accessories. Here's Willie right here. He has this nice little green bandolier. This green Rambo headband. His backpack. Little peg there. Ooh, his tail's articulated. Anyway, we'll set him to the side for the moment. He comes with a set of alternate hooves. Comes with a set of alternate hooves. They have a peg in them. Yeah, his normal ones aren't pegged. Peg holes. He comes with... I'm going to have to take this bottom tray out. Comes with some egg grenades. Not the first time we've seen egg grenades in a toy line. Those famously aced up from the Playmates. Ninja Turtles line came with egg grenades. He comes with some arrows to further play on that Rambo joke. Also, a little nod to Hot Shots movie. The Hot Shots, I think it was part 2, with the chicken on an arrow. So we've got a chicken arrow. I love this. This is amazing. That being said, this is a soft plastic. I don't care for that. Then we've got a carrot arrow, carrot, all painted green, and then the corn on the cob arrow. I like these. These are fun. These are very fun accessories. And then we have a second clamshell. We've got a giant milk can with the Rams logo on it. I love that. It's tampoed on there. It's very clean. It's very clean. You can even read it. If the camera will focus. Rebel Army of Militant Sheep. That's awesome. And this can plug into his back, I guess, if you want. And it's hollow. That's not something you'll typically see. So you could like throw his arrows in it. That's awesome. He comes with his bow. This is an awesome looking bow. It's so detailed. I love this. See, we got a little clip on the side for an arrow. That's cool. Man, that's neat. Let's see. Not really gonna work. Oh, there we go. Arrow clip. That's pretty cool. Be careful, you're gonna get some paint rubbed. And of course, his giant weapon of mass destruction. This is a very big, solid piece. I don't think it moves. I don't think this moves. And it doesn't move. Like I thought maybe this would pivot up, but it doesn't. Looks like they used a telephone or something. It's very detailed though. More tampo this side up. Paint's pretty clean. I love the grit look to it. There's a wash on it that makes it look like a dirty piece of machinery. Again, we got the Rams logo on this weapon. Keep clear. Right there. That's pretty good. He comes with a lot of accessories. Oh. And Sergeant Woolley's got great head articulation. And waist articulation. His little tail moves. I love that. I wasn't looking for that, and that's cool. Alright, the shoulders are a bit tight. Yeah, a bit tight, so I can see that being an issue. Hands. Yeah, these shoulders are tight. Boy, howdy. Boy, howdy, those some tight shoulders. He needs a massage. Eesh, dang it. They don't want to move his elbow. I don't want to break any of these guys. Ugh. That elbow is kind of stuck. There we go. We got it. We got it. Sometimes you just gotta force it. I would advise not forcing stuff like this. I have broken countless toys because the joints just don't want to unstick. Now I can't really tell what kind of articulation the hip has because it just seems like swivel up and down. Doesn't seem like it has any. Yep, there is a hinge. You can barely see it. There's a slight hinge in there. Not good enough for anything. And then of course this, which I don't care for that design on that lower leg because it just looks weak. Alright. He's pretty cool. I love the head sculpt. I do have a little bit of paint rub right there on the eyebrow. Just for size comparison, if they had made these to the scale that they originally solicited them to, they should have been as big as the Mad Balls, but they are definitely smaller. but that's okay. I would have rather had it, but there's still a handful of a toy, and that's what I like. So if you want him to use his bow, you're gonna have to swap out his hoof for one of the other hoofs. They are marked. This would be right, so you can see, if you're wondering, you'll see a 2R, and this one will say, this one will have an L for left. So this is his left hand. And there's this big nub on this bow so that you can peg it in and he can hold his bow. That being said, it's kind of too big. Like, his arm isn't big enough. So it's like, it's sort of gonna hit his body just about no matter how you pose it. I wonder, like, I guess this would peg in his back. If you want to have him shooting his bow, this is like his quiver. But the peg is too big. So I guess it would just sit like that. Yeah, you could just have it sitting out. It's not gonna like peg all the way in because of that little ring around that peg isn't gonna push through. But that's an option. That's a display option. Of course, typically you're gonna use the giant gun anyway. And then you have the eggs, and they should all kind of fit in this bandolier. Kind of tight. Yeah, a little tight, but it looks okay. I would imagine having them stuck in there over a long period of time might cause the paint to transfer. And of course, you've got this big giant gun, and it should slot through the bandolier first, I understand, and then to the back. Yeah. Kind of tricky. There's no way you can put it on the wrong way because there's a line in the peg, but gosh, that's tight. And there we go. And you can have his arm up in there. Now this is a very heavy backpack, so he's immediately top heavy. Like, I don't know how I'm going to compensate for that because there's not a lot you can do with his legs. You can move his waist. All right, if you move his waist off center, he will stand up because it sort of gives him equal balance on the back and the front. But he's still kind of wobbly. That being said, he looks great. He looks really good. I love this bow. I love the arrows. He doesn't really have a way to hold the arrows though. Well, maybe he does. Nah. I guess he can sort of hold the arrows like that if you want. I love this milk can. He's got really good accessories. Like, they just look phenomenal. Next up, we've got Major Legger Mutton, our ram of the series. Again, the packaging's all the same. Just so I'm gonna open them up. I'm pretty sure I had this guy as a kid. I only had like one or two of these figures. This was the era of weird little toys like this, like, you know, your food fighters and stuff. And I'm still waiting on somebody to make a modern food fighters line. Please make that happen. Premium DNA, I'm looking at you. You're doing a good job here. Alright. Now, right out the package, he's ready to go. Ready to go right out of the box. He comes with some unnecessary accessories, maybe, but these are great if you're a diorama builder. Now you got a pumpkin, a watermelon, and these are very nicely painted. They're not like this watermelon is just a sphere with lines painted in it. It's nothing sculpted on it, but this pumpkin is amazing. That is an amazing pumpkin. And then you got half a watermelon with the seeds painted on. This is really good. These are great for dioramas. Maybe you want to do a Thanksgiving or a seasonal theme diorama. There you go. That's pretty much all he comes with, other than his giant, what they call it, guided missile launcher. Pretty much what it is. And this should pop off. Just a peg right there. And his articulation is going to be the same as side of bacon. Look at that face sculpt, man. That face sculpt is amazing. Like, golly, that's beautiful. Like, I will say this. Like, you could just take the heads off these guys and put them on these little makeshift plaques and have them around your house like they're little mounted animals. That head sculpt is awesome. I'd like to see a life-size sculpt of this. Like, somebody just did a life-size print of this head. That would look amazing. The paint apps are pretty good. I love the war paint and the little goatee, a little square in his little diamond nose, the horns. Oh, this is a nice. I like this figure. All of his fur is painted and sculpted. He's got a little hinge tail. The tail moves, but there's also a hinge in it. It's really tight though, so can't exactly get it to move. That's his head. His head articulation, pretty much a swivel. I love that the paint on those teeth. Those teeth are so like just clean and glistening. It's not just a flat white paint, and it's a different. It almost seems like a different type of white than the eyes. Like that's like a bone white. And they did such a good job on the paint, and the articulation is subpar, but the sculpt and the paint, like, oh wow, that was tight. That hurt. These guys are going to be tight. You're going to need patience or boiling water. That being said, God, man, they're tight. You're probably not going to be doing a lot other than having them displayed like they are out of the package with their giant weapons, because that's what people remember about these guys. Man, that elbow's tight. I really don't want to break anything. That's the good thing, is they're pretty quality. So as soon as I say quality, it's not broken. It just popped out of the peg hole. That's good. I would rather it pop out than break. It seems to me that they had maybe a thought of modularity, like the Mad Balls at first. It's kind of unnecessary for a line like this. At least his hips are a little bit better than Side of Bacon's. Yeah, they definitely had some intent of modularity. I cannot believe this popped out so easily. They pop back in pretty easy. Like, that's good. I would rather it do that than to break. That's a good sign. I feel like maybe if they would have just went with modular joints, it would have been easier to deal with. Not a lot of movement in the waist. I mean, you could swivel it, but you're not going to be twisting your ram's body all the way around. Now, as with the side of Bacon isn't like this, but you can actually stand him up and he looks like a normal figure because of the way his head is positioned. It looks like he's looking down when he's in the squat position, for the foreleg position. So it looks like he's looking straight ahead. So you could actually have him standing up if you wanted. He looks really good. That's pretty cool. I like that. I likes it a lot. Side of bacon is looking straight forward on all fours, so it doesn't really look all that appealing. Trying to stand him up though, I'm pretty sure you could do the same. Alright, then you have this giant missile launcher. And there is a swivel base, so you can sort of have it up and down. Now this missile was detachable on the one when I was a kid, and this one is as well. Just slides right out. It's hollow. I like this. I like it a lot. That's a very hefty missile. Just slide right into the port there. Nice. Nice. Keep clear. Apparently he has killed 6 pigs with his launcher. Got RAM tempoed on. The RAM logo's kind of got a lot of some heavy paint on it, so you can't see the details very much. I like the details underneath. It gives it like a padding look. And as it was in the package, this just pops right on, like so. And you can have it going up or down. That's really good. I like that. I think he might be my favorite, just for that head sculpt. We have Corporal High on the Hog with his handheld Hog rocket launcher. Alright, he comes with 2 extra hoofs. No pegs, it's just open. I guess the peg moves are in his hands. Yep. He's got the pegged hooves on. He just looks all angry and piggly. I like his personality. One-eyed pig with a nose ring. Alright, we've got some kind of piece to a thing. This amazing kebab sword. And this is flexible. Like, it's not like a lot of NECA swords and stuff which is gonna break when you open it out of the package. Check this out. The pommel is a pig head. And it's got a pigtail on the back. What? Come on, guys. It's got some wrapping. What is that? Tomato, an onion, a mushroom, and a bell pepper. And come on, even the inside of the bell pepper is painted a different color. You guys, attention to detail on these is amazing. The tomato, of course, I've never seen a pink tomato, but still, that's great. I'm loving this. All right, got a couple of pistons from a tractor. Are these called pistons? Can't remember. His giant launcher. And each of these rockets can come off. That's pretty cool. It's like a radar launcher. I think I'm seeing how to assemble this. Alright. They don't give you any instructions. You kind of just sort of have to figure it out. Here's his little radar. It has this lenticular sticker. That's cool. That is nice. Little lenticular sticker there. And then piece of resistance. This giant tractor tire. Again, this is a hollow plastic, sort of just like the hay bale. Dunslop. Like Dunlop tires. Dunslop. That's clever. I like that. Alright, this is supposed to be the launcher base. So how do you assemble this nightmare? Alright, this piece obviously goes right there. These, I can only see going here. Well, I don't know if the orientation's correct. Let me look at the back of the package. No, the one on the package doesn't have them on it. I wouldn't know where else to put them. It's like this. I don't know where to put this. This can only go in one way. Alright. Giant rocket launcher. Where does this go? Where does it go? Am I doing something wrong? Maybe this goes in here. Just so you're sure that there is a specific orientation, you can see the legs on the sheep, so that would be up. Alright, I hope that's where that goes, because there's no getting that back off. Maybe that's just an option? No? I don't know. I don't know what this does. Alright, I figured this out. That's for that. These go so his hands can slip in there. I guess that's so he can guide it. But these are this. Are these labeled? If he were in left and right, I mean, he can swivel his hands, so it shouldn't matter. I think these are for controlling it. So he could get up and like move it around. But that doesn't explain what this is for. It pegged into the same hole as the radar. But I think that just might be an option. The little radar dish. Alright. How's his articulation? Surprisingly, pretty good head articulation. Pretty good waist articulation. His joints on the shoulders and elbows aren't as tight as the other people's. The other swines. Probably because he's more of a smoother sculpt. Yeah, he's a lot cleaner on articulation. Like, not as loose, not as tight. This is perfect. This is how everybody's articulation should feel. Clean out of the box. These hands are pretty easily removable. Peg his little sword in his hand. I love that sword. You could be like, attack! Alright. That is a massive, massive accessory. These guys are awesome. Again, not a lot of complaints here for size comparison. Pretty smaller than the Mad Balls, but still pretty amazing. I have a lot of hopes for you, PremiumDNA. You guys blew it out of the park with your first wave of Mad Balls, head poppers. These guys, not quite as good as far as articulation, but the accessories, the sculpts, The scale's a little off. I wish they would have been a little bit more in scale. Like just like half an inch more. I understand why y'all would have shrunk them down, but I would have preferred them to match with the Mad Balls. But these are their own thing anyway. I have a lot of hopes for you guys. I know you guys are working through a lot of difficulties with your brand. Escaping the issues associated with your previous brand is difficult, and you're also not as known a company yet, but y'all started it really strongly. These figures we've gotten so far have been excellent. These have been excellent figures. I've had very little to no complaints except for your customer service. I'm pretty sure your communication was a lot better before, but it has fallen off the map. Y'all don't really communicate much through email. I've noticed that y'all comment more often on your social media. You try your best to belay customer concerns, but I hope you understand why those are there. Y'all have some bad marks that y'all have to get through. This is an excellent start. This is only the second set of figures y'all delivered on for me. Of course, when my normal Barnyard Commandos come in from Big Bad Toy Store, that'll be a third wave of figures. As I said, I'm still waiting on that Trash and Pumpkin. I pre-ordered my Battletoads through you guys. Those guys look amazing. If they're anywhere near the quality of the Mad Balls or these Barnyard Commandos, I'll be super excited. And on top of that, y'all have the Earthworm Jim figures. I'm letting you know now, I haven't pulled the trigger on ordering those. Not because I don't want them. It's because I don't feel like waiting 2 years for or longer, or if that order comes through. There are other companies that have those similar issues. However, they have a much larger track record, a much greater reputation, and a lot more to lose if they mess up. You guys are building a strong base for your fans, your collector community, because these are great toys. I hope you guys keep it up. As long as y'all keep delivering, I will keep buying them. I want to see what you guys do with Clay Fighters. That's something that's been begging for merchandise for decades. I want to see what you guys do with Perfect Dark. I'm interested in that. What I'll probably do is anything in the future, I'll probably just buy once it comes in stock. I don't like having my money sit in a hole somewhere for 2 years. I've got a bad situation with Super 7 like that, where me and many other fans of their Ultimates lines are probably just going to be buying from third party from now on, just because we don't feel like having our hard-earned money sit in an account for 12 months, 24 months before product is in our hands, and the prices keep going up. These guys, I believe, was $45. I think I paid $35 for the normal wave of Barnyard Commandos back when they first came out. And that's just to give you a price fluctuation since those were announced. There's been a almost 25% price increase in products of late. In fact, I think the Mad Balls were $35. Of course, I believe this variant was $45. This is a great variant, by the way. Keep it up. Do more variants. You guys promised a lot with this line. I want to see this line grow. I was not a fan of this line as a kid. I thought the toys were kind of weak and gimmicky. But these are awesome looking figures. These are great toys. Like, I would keep these on my shelf for a long time. Y'all promised all kinds of different new factions for the Barnyard Commandos, and I'd like to see that. Make it happen. Do some new series. Add in some new characters that we never seen. Some concepts. There's a lot of promise here. You guys did a great job. Anyways, this has been You Are Supreme Toys with the Barnyard Commandos Stealth Ops set exclusives from Premium DNA. Thank you for watching.